passing by me. Hello, y'all. Just a girl who loves Taylor Swift and the summer turned pretty much a business. I am, in fact, parked at Starbucks. No further questions. Hello, Shiny Bays. Hello, besties. Happy Monday. Happy start of the week. What better way to start this week than to discuss the summer I turned pretty? No other way. Yep. I came to Starbucks, I got my coffee, and I'm ready to go. Let me tell you all my thoughts on the Summer I Turned Pretty show without spoilers until the very end. So first, let me tell you about the books. The Summer I Turned Pretty is a trilogy by Jenny Han. I'm sure a lot of you guys know it is YA, but I read it recently. I think I read it 2 months ago or something like that. I was not into romance when I was like in middle school. I only read dystopian fantasy. That was more my vibe. So the Summer I Turned Pretty was not on my radar whatsoever. But then once I started reading romance, I was like, okay, let me read these. And I am obsessed. I fell in love. So if you are not into YA usually, or if you feel like these might not be for you, give it a shot because they are so addicting. So it follows Belly and it is a love triangle, which is not my favorite trope, but I promise the series does it so well. Listen, Belly goes to Cousins Beach every single summer with her mom Laurel and her mom's best friend Susanna. And her mom's best friend happens to have 2 very hot sons, Conrad and Jeremiah. Jeremiah is Belly's best friend and Conrad has been her first love her entire life. She has loved him as long as she can remember. And one summer, everything changes. She shows up and she's grown and the dynamic between them is just different than before. And then it starts with the romance between the 2 brothers. I don't want to tell you too much because I don't want to give anything away. Read the books. It has that amazing summer feeling. It's light, it's fluffy, it's fun. It does have some sad moments to it that really took me by surprise. So search up trigger warnings if you need them for those. So I would say go read the books before you watch the show just so that you have some more background. The first season is only about the first book. So you can't just go ahead and read the first book, The Summer I Turned Pretty, and then go into the show already and then read the other 2 books. Up to you. Also, the order is The Summer I Turned Pretty, that's the first one. Then you have It's Not Summer Without You, second one. And then you have We'll Always Have Summer, third. But we are here to discuss the show today because y'all, it was so good, phenomenal, incredible. Roses, roses, I'm throwing roses. This was one of the best book to TV show adaptations I have ever seen. I have no words. Listen. When I read the books, I was immediately Team Conrad. Like, it didn't even cross my mind which team I was gonna be on. Saw his name, met him, and I was like, this is the one. I usually do that with teams a lot, like in every love triangle, like Edward and Jacob, Stefan and Damon. I always pick my team and I stay there. And I can love the other guy too, okay? But I stay to my team. As soon as I read the books, Conrad was the one for me from the first book, and it stayed that way until the very last one. And in the show, I am very much still Team Conrad. Nothing wrong with Jeremiah. I still love him, okay? He was great. The show ate down regardless, but Conrad's where it's at. What I loved the most about this adaptation is I think they thought it out so well. Like, listen, yes, there are some things that are different because you don't expect it to be the same. With books to movies or shows, it's never going to be exactly the same because obviously they can only do so much in a show and in a movie, whatever. Book, you have way more freedom to do many other things, you know? A show and stuff, it depends on the budget and it depends on the actors and it depends on what you have time to include, all of that. And I understand, but this show managed to include everything we wanted and still change things up and not make it exactly the same. Like, one of the big plots in the show was the debutante ball. That doesn't happen in the book, but it was so amazingly done that I fucking loved it. It still went in the same direction that the book went in, even if they switched some things up. And they still kept little details from the book that you didn't have background on the show, but you know if you read it. Like Junior Mint, for instance, the stuffed animal that Belly keeps on her bed. You know the story behind that if you read the book. You don't know the story if you watch the show, but they kept it there. They kept the glass unicorn on her dresser. They kept the infinity necklace, the belly flop, the slushies, the good blender. They included little scenes that we all really wanted, like Conrad teaching her how to dance, him giving her back her muffin. Things that basically they didn't need to include, okay? But they did because they thought it out so well and they wanted to make everybody happy with everything. They paid attention to those details. I don't think I have a single bad thing to say about this adaptation. Usually the book is always better, right? I would say these are about the same for me. Like, I loved the books, adored, obsessed, so good, all 3. But the show, the comfort the show brought, the serotonin it gave me, unmatched. I have been waiting to feel that feeling again ever since I finished, and it doesn't seem like it's happening anytime soon. Let's discuss the casting and the acting. The casting was perfect. In my mind, I cannot see Conrad and Jeremiah being anyone different. They were perfect. But the star is Belly. Y'all, Lola is the amazing Belly, the epitome of Belly. I could not see her being anyone else. Like, incredible, amazing, phenomenal. Again, I am throwing roses. And the acting was so fucking good. The writing, y'all, it was not only so well done, but they also included references to like the times now and how we talk now and all that. They included that in the show. Like they were talking about having a blue check mark on Instagram getting canceled. They used words like snack and slay and all that. Like it was very much with the times, which I thought was amazing. Just overall, the vibes were incredible. It brought such comfort. Every episode flowed so well. Again, I don't have a single bad thing to say. The songs, the soundtrack. They had Taylor's version of so many songs. And then they had Billy. And then they had Blackpink. Ah! I screamed when I heard Ice Cream. Screamed. Like quite literally got up out of my couch and screamed. Because Blackpink deserves it. They fucking deserve it. And they had Selena. And they had Phoebe. And they had Olivia Rodrigo. Like the transition between The Way I Loved You, Taylor's version, into Funeral by Phoebe Bridgers. It should be illegal, what that made me feel. It should be illegal. Anyway, overall, y'all, everything about it was incredible. If you haven't watched the show, please go watch it. If you haven't read the books, do that first. I am Team Conrad through and through. The way this is like my 50,000th time mentioning this. I am Team Conrad. I'm Team Conrad. I was immediately Team Conrad. Conrad was the one for me. I am very much still Team Conrad. Conrad is where it's at. We get it, babes. You're Team Conrad. Okay. No one asked. I also loved all the side characters in the show that they made more main character vibes. Like in the books, you have Taylor, who is Belly's best friend. I felt like in the books she was great, but she wasn't like such a prominent figure. In the show, it felt like she really was always there. Cameron was an amazing part of the show. The moms, Laurel and Susanna, y'all, team moms all the way. If you haven't watched the show, if you haven't read the books, leave right now because I'm going to talk about some spoilers that you shouldn't hear. Unless you don't mind spoilers, then stay. Up to you. The last episode, the way I was so giddy, right? So giddy watching The Way I Loved You dance. When Conrad stood up and they started playing the chords to The Way I Loved You, Taylor's version. Chills, disgusting what that made me feel. I will never find that happiness again. The joy I felt seeing this man stand up and walk to her to do the dance. I know Jeremiah was going through it. I'm sorry, my guy, but I was focused. I was focused on my team. Anyway, they do the dance and I was so giddy. I was smiling. I was blushing. I was living life, living lavish. And then they decide to tell everyone that Susanna has cancer and everybody starts sobbing and I start sobbing. And I no longer was the giddy gal I was before, especially because then they started playing Funeral. Also, playing When the Party's Over by Billie Eilish with the Conrad and Belly scene that they chose to play it at. Who allowed it? Who allowed that pain I felt? Anyway, and then I went back to being giddy. I was up here with The Way I Loved You, right? And then I was down here with Funeral. And then I was back up here when Conrad and Belly got their first kiss at the beach. And it was phenomenal. Did I have to wait 7 episodes for it to happen? Yes. But was it worth every second? Yes. Yes. I also will say the show was very funny too. Like some of the scenes I could not stop laughing at. Like 2 lines that I took away from the show that I keep saying over and over again. They might not be funny to anybody else, but ready? When Jeremiah said, "I'm always down for a muffin run." For some reason, I cackled. And then when they were making slushies and Conrad was like, "Well, you gotta use the good blender." It was so funny. It had no business. And when Cameron and Belly were on the beach and like they were having like this moment and he was talking about whales. Also, the volleyball scene. Who was in charge of that scene? Because I would like to give it a round of applause. When Conrad got the shirt and like showed up next to Belly and he was like, "Where do you want me, sir?" And when they were at the pool at night and Conrad was like, "What will you give me if I do?" Anyway, y'all, it was amazing. I loved everything about it. I loved the things they switched, by the way. Like I said, Debutante Ball was a great addition. When Jeremiah said he just likes equal opportunity and then he kissed Luke, amazing, amazing. Something they switched from the book to the show. It made it even better. It fits his personality so well. The representation they showed on that show as well, I have no complaints. And Miss Taylor, letting them use Taylor's version of all the songs. I don't know what budget they had, but it had to be huge because what the fuck? Oh man, I'm gonna go rewatch. Anyway, Shawty Bays, those are all my thoughts on that. I wanted to make a quick video talking about it. I needed to tell you, I needed you to scream with me because this is my favorite thing right now. And obviously when something's my favorite thing, I have to shove it down your throats. It's just the way it is. Also, the parallel, y'all, between Vampire Diaries and The Summer I Turned Pretty, between the dance, Miss Mystic Falls, when Elena was waiting for Stefan to show up, Stefan was all outside being like, "I'm not sad, I'm freaking hungry." And Damon stepped up and they did the dance and my heart skipped a beat. That scene, the parallel between that with the Conrad and Belly dance when Jeremiah's not there, she's waiting and Conrad shows up. Team Stefan, Team Damon. No, I'm Team Klaus Michelson. I really don't know where that came from. Like, yeah, it's true, but I don't know why I said it. So if it seems out of place, it's because it was. Anyway, Shotty Bays, I hope you guys have a great day. If you haven't yet, go read the books. Well, you're probably not here if you haven't read it yet. Regardless, you should go read the books. You should go watch the show. Have a marvelous fucking time. It's on Amazon Prime, by the way. Prime Video and all that jazz. I love you so much, Shotty Bays. Have a great week.